You know, there's a world that's constantly speaking to us, a world that most of us have kind of forgotten how to hear. Today, we're diving into a beautiful short film called Iarkiin Moji, which literally means the language of nature. It's this incredible conversation that's happening all around us, all the time, and by the end of this, you might just start to hear it too.
So let me just start by asking you this. What if the world around you was actually trying to talk to you? I don't mean with words, but, in the way the leaves rustle, or in a bird's song, or even in the path a tiny insect takes. What if all of that is a language, just waiting for us to listen?
And that, right there, is the whole idea behind this film. Nature has its own language. It's like a radio station that's always broadcasting, but somewhere along the way, we've forgotten how to tune in.
So what exactly is this language of nature? Well, it's not about learning grammar or vocabulary, not at all. It's about feeling. It's about observation. It's the story the wind tells as it moves through the trees, the little messages in a bird's call, the quiet determination you see in an ant's journey. It's basically the language of life itself, and it's happening every single second.
And here's the most amazing part. This isn't some secret code that only a few people can crack. The film suggests that we are all born fluent in this language. It's a deep, fundamental part of being human, an instinct that's just been buried under all the noise of our modern lives.
So that brings up a pretty big question, right? If this is our native tongue, why can't we understand it anymore? What exactly happened? Where did that connection go?
I mean, this says it all, doesn't it? We can be standing in the most beautiful, breathtaking place, but our attention, our whole world is just lost in the glow of our phones. We're there physically, sure, but our minds are somewhere else entirely.
Just think for a second about what you hear every day. For almost all of human history, our background noise was the sound of nature. Now it's this constant barrage of traffic, dings from our phones, and digital noise. It's not that nature went quiet, it's that our world just got incredibly loud.
And really, that's the sad part. It's not like we made a conscious choice to stop listening. The noise of everything we created it got so loud that it completely drowned out those quiet, subtle whispers of the world around us.
But hey, this isn't a story about everything we've lost. It's actually a story about rediscovery. Because we can absolutely learn to listen again. And it's not about giving up our modern lives. It's just about finding those small moments of quiet to reconnect with the world that gives us life.
So how do we do it? The film lays out this really simple 4-step path, and you don't have to go on some epic trip to a remote forest. It starts with just finding a quiet spot. And then you notice the really small stuff, a single leaf, a tiny bug. The next part's key. Just be still, be patient, and finally, listen with everything you've got, not just your ears.
I absolutely love this line from the film. It's such a beautiful reminder that the biggest conversations can start with the quietest voices. The little plants, the vines, the insects, they're the ones that start talking to us first, as soon as we quiet our own minds.
And that's what makes this so powerful. It is so accessible to everyone. You don't need a huge national park. Seriously, the conversation can start with just one single plant on your windowsill. The moment you take the time to truly see it, you're taking that first step. You're starting to listen.
Okay, so let's say we do this. We find our spot, we get quiet. What are we actually going to hear? What kind of wisdom is waiting for us out there?
Well, nature doesn't give you a lecture. It just shows you. A giant tree standing for centuries, it doesn't have to say a word to teach you about patience. A flower pushing its way through a crack in the concrete, that is resilience in action. A spider's web shows you the genius of interconnection. Everything out there is like a masterclass in just being present right here, right now. And here's where it gets really deep. The film suggests that learning this language doesn't just change how you see the world outside, it starts to bring this amazing clarity to your inner world too. It helps untangle the complicated knots of our own lives. So this isn't some one-time lesson, Learning this language is really the start of a lifelong conversation. It's a dialogue that can lead to a much more peaceful and, honestly, a more harmonious way of living. This, right here, is the heart of it all. Harmony isn't something you can just force or create out of thin air. It's what happens naturally when you understand something. When you learn nature's language, you start to sync up with its ancient rhythms, and that is what it truly means to live in harmony.
And this is so important. This whole thing isn't about being a tourist in the natural world. It's about breaking down that fake wall we've built between us and nature, and remembering a simple, fundamental truth. We are nature. We are not separate from it. We are a part of this incredible, magnificent whole.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. That conversation, it's happening right now, all around you. All it takes is a moment of quiet, a decision to just listen. So the only question left is, what will you hear first?